It should be good. I'm trying.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Aaron Dishner from the Better Traders, and joining me today is this is Louis Raskin from the More Coin Bureau channel. I'm so pre-programmed to just put trading after Coin Bureau, so that's my bad. Louis, what's up?
What's good, brother? It's good to finally be on a live stream with you and
Yeah.
on the channel, because I've actually, it's funny, like I didn't tell you, but I've watched you for quite a while now, and I don't know if you got me into 3 commas back in the day, but I did watch. I don't think you got me into it, but I did watch a lot of videos on it. And then after the whole hack and stuff happened with them, I switched to AllTradey, and so now I use AllTradey, and
Same actually.
So I've watched a lot of. I've been watching a lot of your content for a while with the Better Trader, and I think
That's
I even got your course.
Sorry, what?
I think I even got your course too.
Well, hey,
Better Traders stuff.
Awesome, that's amazing.
It's dope to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we just kind of like go crazy into this, and I do want to pick your brain about AllTradey and all that fun stuff, but I think it's better for you just to share a little bit about who you are, what your background is in trading, investing, and just I don't want to say too much. I just want to open the platform up to you. So go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. Yeah, appreciate it. So this is the first time I am on the Coin Bureau trading channel. My name is Louis Raskin. I am on the More Coin Bureau channel, and I am a new presenter there. We got a few videos under the belt so far. Seems to be doing pretty well so far, so that's cool. And yeah, I basically joined the Coin Bureau team not too long ago, and originally, I guess I'll start out with how I got into crypto and everything like that. So 2017 was when I actually got into crypto. I first heard about it on the Joe Rogan podcast in like 2014, I believe, and then again in 2016. But both of those times, the first time it just went over my head. It's so complicated. And then the second time, I asked my mentor, who was part of this online, basically online wealth building type of deal, building online businesses. And he said, build your online business. And then if you want to, you could take the profits, some of the profits from there, and then buy Bitcoin. So I said, okay. So I just kept on working on my online business, but that didn't make me any money. so I didn't have any, so I never invested into it in 2016. And then finally 2017, it was late 2017, a girl from Tinder that I went out with, she gave me she forced me to join a Facebook group that was all about cryptocurrencies. And I was like, okay, I'll join it. I joined it, and then maybe it was late 2017 during the crazy run up that I was seeing all of these people in that group like making so much money. So I said, all right, well, I got to check this out. Like I got to go into this, because this is sort of crazy with people saying how they're making tens of thousands of dollars, from like $100 or a few $100s, And so I checked it out, and I was doing this thing. I was trying to like read a book a week at the time. And so I said, okay, let me pick up a book on it. And I picked up this book. It was called The Internet of Money by Andreas Antonopoulos.
I literally have it behind me.
Dude, it's the best book. It's so good. Yes, that was it. So I probably read that 10 times. It was the first book in years since 2012 that I picked up and I could not put down. I read the whole thing in one sitting and just stayed up all night and was blown away by it. And I was like, oh my God, this technology is going to change the world. So immediately I joined, I started a Binance account. I joined up on Binance, deposited some money, and this was during when things were going crazy. So I didn't realize that at the time. I thought like, oh, this is just the way it is. But yeah, in about a month, I made more money than I have in my entire life combined from everything that I've ever done. Like, so I said, wow, this is cool. I need to like be in this. And so before I did all that though, you know, I was a functional health practitioner. So I went to school, graduated in the sciences, pre-med, you know, and exercise science, along with food and nutrition sciences. And then I was going to go to med school, but I was looking at the curriculum, and it was just like, it was like pharmaceuticals 101, pharmaceuticals 202. And then I was talking to people, and they're like, yeah, they basically teach you like what pharmaceutical drug to prescribe to people based off of their symptoms. Like, you put it into a computer. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to get people off of drugs, not put people on drugs. Like, so after graduating college, I had to figure something out, and I found this thing called functional medicine, which was all about diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, and supplementation. And that is how to like heal the body, basically. And so I became a functional medicine practitioner, and then also graduated from some other like online courses and things like that to get more certifications and things. And basically that was the business that I was building, right? So all the way up until it was like for 2 years straight, I was like building this business, getting certifications, and I was planning on launching in January of 2018, new year, new me type of deal, you know, go to the Whole Foods, go to gyms, give speeches, give talks. I got my uncle, I created like a YouTube video with my uncle to basically help him lose weight and get super healthy. And it was really, really cool. Everyone loved it. And it was supposed to be like, he was going to be my spokesperson, essentially. He lost like 200 pounds and was able to walk and see again, all that stuff. And so I had this health thing. And then when the crypto stuff happened, it was literally like, I'm working on my health stuff. It was called Organic Life Body. Like, you live the organic life, you get the body you want, right? But I was working on that. And then what's the price of crypto? Working on that. How's my account? Like what I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. Like, I just literally couldn't stop. So it was, it basically got to the point where it was taking up so much of my time, crypto, because it was so ingrained, and I got so addicted to it. And then I realized, okay, the health and wellness stuff is always going to be there, like 24, like it's always going to be there, right? And then so there's what's the three pillars of a business? It's either health, it's wealth, or it's relationships. And so I figured, okay, this is in the wealth category. It's like the crypto stuff. But I was also learning about markets and market cycles and all these other things. And I realized, oh man, like this is sort of like the internet. Like back in 2000, there was the big internet bubble, and Amazon and other companies, Apple, like they dropped 70, 80%, 90%. So when that happened in 2018, and I lost a whole bunch of money back then, when that happened, I realized, well, the same thing happened with the internet. And so the internet came back, obviously, all these companies, if you chose the right companies, they came back. And then now they're the biggest companies in the world. So that's probably going to happen with Bitcoin, probably going to happen with Ethereum, and probably going to happen with a few other coins, right? So that when I realized that, I realized there's an opportunity here. Like there's an opportunity that does not come around very often. So I said, I'm going to give it 2 years. This was back in 2018. I said, I'm going to give it 2 years, and I'm going to give it everything I have, because I know that you can make a lot of money with it. And if I don't, then, the health and wellness will always be there. So I went all in for 2 years, made the first year, made no money. I think I lost money, to be honest, because the market was going down, right? It was 2018, right? Bear market. 2019 made no money because it wasn't doing much in 2019. And then I said, okay, like 6 more months, and then I'll give it up and I'll go back to health. And luckily in that 6-month period, that last stretch, that was late 2020. And that's when things started getting a little crazy. And so October-ish of 2020 was when it started, and you could feel it. If you were in it, like you could feel it that it was gonna explode. And that's when I did something a little crazy, which was I remembered that in 2017, John McAfee was huge on Twitter, and every time that he would post something, the coin would go up by 1,000,000%, right?
Yeah.
So I remembered that. And then I remembered that Elon Musk was a fan of Dogecoin. And Elon Musk was actually tweeting about Dogecoin for years before 2020. Like, people don't realize this, but he was. So I saw that happened. I remembered that John McAfee, whenever he would tweet about something, he would go up like crazy. And then I was looking at the short squeezes that were happening with GMC, with GameStop, AMC, GameStop, and these other things with the stocks, right? So I was putting these pieces of the puzzle together, and then I was seeing that Robinhood, everybody was going to Robinhood, and that was the big thing, it was blowing up. And on Robinhood, there was Bitcoin, there was Ethereum, and there was Dogecoin. Okay, Bitcoin was a few $1,000s, Ethereum was a couple $100s, and Dogecoin was under a penny. So I said, it's inevitable. It is inevitable that Elon Musk is going to be talking about Dogecoin, and it's going to shoot the price up like crazy. So I took everything that I had. I took out loans. I sold my car. I did everything. I was living with my dad. I put everything I had into Dogecoin, like 6 figures under a penny, like under a penny. And it ended up shooting up to 70 cents, if people remember. And that was a $7 million trade. And I say this with massive regret because, of course, I sold it literally about break even because I couldn't handle the volatility of it going and seeing my net worth go up and down by so much. It was so much. It was the most money I've ever, had and seen like go up and down and stuff like that. And so I did that. And but obviously that got me like crazy hooked. I was already hooked, but after that, I just kept on doing it, kept on staying in it, and just continued to trade, learn to trade. Eventually, I started my own company where I would teach people about trading and cryptocurrency and educate people on that. And eventually got into eventually just started traveling the world and trading cryptocurrency and like living the life. And now I'm here with Coin Bureau because they wanted another presenter, and I said, you know what, Coin Bureau is one of the very few companies that never shilled crappy weird coins. Like, they never like took these bribes from people that did like these sketchy things. So I was like, okay, Coin Bureau is actually legit. Coin Bureau is actually one of the few ones from a very long time that didn't basically like sell out and use their viewers as exit liquidity. It's like these are the people that you want to be aligned with, like honest, real, good people, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to join Coin Bureau because they were looking for someone, and I know that they're actually good people, right? So now I'm here, and like I said, I'm on more Coin Bureau, but my specialty is honestly it's trading, because I've been a trader since 2018, just constantly learning, constantly creating algorithms and stuff like that. And that's the new thing that I'm doing is working on creating like AI algos to help with trading. And so that is basically the whole story of how I've come to be here now. And it's been a wild ride, but it is what it is.
Nice. Well, thank you. I think one really big striking thing about what you shared is that so many people come into crypto from all different walks of life. Literally, people just come from all over the world doing whatever they were doing before, and then it just grabs you and you realize that moment where this could actually change my life. Like, that's what happened with me. It clearly happened with you. And you've also learned a lot about position sizing, I guess you could say. Like, there's an incredible upside risk, of course, always, but you also have to learn how to manage that risk and what's going to be reasonable for you. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%. There's so many mistakes that you make as a trader. Trading is literally like trading makes you realize more about yourself than any other profession, I think, because it immediately shows you your ego. It immediately
Yeah,
shows you how greedy you are. It immediately because if you are too greedy, if you do have too big of an ego, if you can't cut your trades or if you can't do XYZ, then you're gonna lose. Like it shows in your P&L, right?
yeah,
So it
absolutely.
forces you to level up. It forces you to be a better human. It forces you
Yeah,
to be more peaceful with yourself and zen and be more data driven a lot of the times. So
yeah, yeah.
it's a great like thing for everyone to do because it shows you the shadows. It exposes the
Yeah,
bad things that you could work
yes,
on, which is great.
yeah. Well, before we go further, I do want to direct you guys over to the More Coin Bureau channel where you can subscribe to what is happening over there. I'm also contributing a video, I think, every other week. Lewis is much more regular. Of course, Guy and Nick are also sharing. And if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. And I also have links that I need to share with you guys. I posted a video just a couple hours ago for Solana, why it's pumping. I do want to talk about that. We are going to talk about charts. We are going to talk about trading strategies and stuff. But before we get to that, we have some exchange partners you guys have got to check out, including a new one here, BYDFi. I still have to figure out how to say it, but I'm going to say Bidifi. So Bidifi is here, and you can earn up to $8,100 by using the links, whether it's for Femex, whether it's for Bidifi, for
It's
2bit. I'm sure I'm
BitFi.
going to get a talking to for that. And there are way more deals as well on the Coin Bureau website. All right, cool. So I want to get into talking about some charts. So let's go ahead. Do you have TradingView open and do you want me to drive? Like, what do you want to do?
You could drive. I think it would be
All
cool
right.
if we could share like what we both think about the price and about the charts. Maybe we'll be on the same page. Maybe we'll
All
have
right.
different opinions, and
Sure. Oh,
that's
that's
what's
fine.
cool about stuff. Yeah,
Absolutely. Dan says that a lot
you could
actually in his
start.
videos. It's hilarious. Almost like verbatim. In the intros of almost all of his videos, it's like, these are only my thoughts, these are my opinions, and you may not agree with them, but it's okay because the more disagreements we have, we're gonna be able to grow together. It's like I don't know how many
Perfect.
videos you watched of Dan. God bless the man. I think that he has actually purposely forced himself to slow down his speech. Because if you watch his first videos, oh man, I would love to have him like just guzzle a couple of like espressos and then do a video to see how ramped up he'll be. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I on the live streams on Coin Bureau channel, I have to get it into a certain slot, like a certain period of time. So I'll
Yeah.
usually like record something, but it's way too long because I keep on going on and on and on. So then I'll have to like narrow it down, and I'm like, so Bitcoin's going to this, and Sol's going to this, and like trying to get it as short as possible while still providing like actual alpha and like good charts and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw I can't keep clicking on comments, but I see a lot of them, a lot of ones that you guys are asking for, which is good. Do leave your comments. Let us know in the live stream chat. I can see some here for like say HNT, APT, good stuff like that. I think we need to talk about Bitcoin first. So personally, when I'm looking at Bitcoin's price action, I'm actually really excited and really pleased with it, just because I had a target of $116,000 by the end of this week, which we hit it today, which is awesome. So yay, my prophecy came true. But the
Perfect.
side bet of that, not the side bet, but the other part of that prophecy that people don't want to hear is that I actually think that Bitcoin's going to close red, not because it looks red right now, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see a little bit of a pullback as we get into the weekend, especially leading up to Wednesday. Mainly because Wednesday is the Fed meeting. I keep wanting to say FOMC, but I get all this stuff mixed up. But it's Wednesday,
Yeah,
so
the 17th.
yes. So
Yeah.
I'm reading a lot of news. I'm sure you are as well. I personally feel like we're going to get a rate cut, and it feels like everyone is. Well, not, I shouldn't say everyone, but it feels like most markets are reflecting bullish price action or bullish anticipation of it. But I also have this, we don't know if it's actually going to happen, even though it's a super duper high percentage. Let me phrase this question in a gentle way. What do you think the reaction would be if the Fed actually comes out and says, like, grabs the mic and it's like, nope, we're not cutting rates, drops the mic and just like runs away? Like, what do you think like the market reaction would be to that?
Oh man, I think we all know that we don't want to know what the market reaction would be to that. But yeah, no, it would tank the markets. Like, that would be terrible. Yeah, no, that would really suck if that happens. But when it comes to the like rate cuts and everything, I remember seeing something not too long ago. I want to see if I could find it, but it essentially it said that 1 year out from rate cuts, like there's never been it's never been like negative, right? Like, and this I think was for the S&P 500. It wasn't for. Oh, here it is. I found it. It says there has never been a time where 1 year after rate cuts, the market was lower. So if we're supposed to get rate cuts in September,
really?
Yeah, never. There's never been. I have a chart. Maybe I could copy. I could. Yeah, I'll send you the image so that you could.
Yeah, and I can paste it in here.
Yeah, and so here's the image, but essentially, yeah, 1 year, there's never been a time ever since like the 1980s, you know, for like, what is that, 20, 30, 40 years, 45 years now, where it has been, I sent it. Did you? Oh man. But yeah, so if you're thinking 1 year out, I think that 1 year from now, Bitcoin's going to be much higher. Even though, because some people are saying like, some people are saying like 2026, but that doesn't mean that 2026 is going to be like all cherries, right? Because and rainbows, because we could go down, but essentially, I do think that 1 year from now we will be higher than where we are right now, like at least for Bitcoin. So that's at least some good news for the long term. For the short term, we'll see what happens. I was pretty bullish, but if you look at the total market cap chart, like total two, we're still at this major resistance, you know. So it's like, it's tough. It's tough to say right because personally, I like to go into trades when there's a very high probability of what I know that will work out. So like when Bitcoin fell to $75,000, I was super confident that we were going to bounce there. Like my high, because everything was so low and we were at major supports and we were at the golden ratio and there was yada, yada, yada. There's so many things that were coming together. So many confluence, right? And so it's like, I go in at that price. I go in like super, super heavy at that price. And then but when it comes up, now it's like, oh, well, now we're at the resistances, like on the total market cap chart. Now there's the USDT dominance is at a support. And when that's at support, then that's bad for the markets, because when USDT goes up, that means that people are selling their cryptos and going into USDT. So now it's like the probability is not as high for me, even though I do still think that we're gonna go up. It's like, you know, as a trader, I want to go in when when I'm pretty certain about things. I don't want to be risking too much, right? I mean, traders, if you're a professional trader, you're really a risk manager. You're not like a trader. You're a risk manager. That's what you are. You know, you manage risk. And so that's my thoughts on the market right now are a little iffy. I would love for there to be a big washout. I would love for there to be a big flush to liquidate all the longs and to bring the prices down like drastically so that I could load up, because I do still believe in the 4-year cycle that we are going to have a big rally in Q4 of this year sometime. And so, because, you know, it is until it isn't, right? So might as well go with what's happened every single time, you know, for the cycle. And so I do want to do that, but I don't want to be getting into things when they're so high. But at the same time, you don't want to miss out, you know? So,
there's a lot more,
but
I think one thing that's important that, I mean, I keep harping on my channel and also reminding people about here on Coin Bureau Trading is that if you zoom out to look at the chart for BTC and identify at least the previous halving dates, I know there's a lot of text on here. It's a little bit messy, but we're basically like on track to hit our all-time high, basically 74, 76, 78 weeks after the previous halving, which is as soon as next week.
It's coming up. It's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, having our all-time high hit here, maybe we might do some sort of like weird a dip and a rip again. But I personally think that we're going to see Bitcoin top out in November. And then we'll see alts top out in December. And then we're going to see a lot of cryptocurrencies get rugged. I think the part that I struggle with in terms of where we are, where we've been, where I think we're going is, I mean, it's really interesting about the S&P and the whole idea of the rate cuts, sure. But I also understand that like financial data coming out of the US is also really bad. And I've seen also some people talking about the fact that it might really be too late for rate cuts, that the damage is already done. So part of me is wondering, like, are we seeing like a little bit of an excitement rally because of all these rate cuts? Then people kind of like realize, oh, the music's stopping. And then we just see like a massive crash. Because if that happens for stocks, it will adversely affect Bitcoin. I'm not trying to be like doom and gloom. I know it's really popular right now for some reason to be a doomer. I'm not really a doomer. I mean, Moon and Papa is far from a doomer name, but yeah. I'm also looking at things coming from the perspective like you talked about before, where you've changed how you're investing now. You're no longer taking out loans to buy Dogecoin, although that was a great trade. But now you're realizing, no, it's really about capital preservation. If I don't have a portfolio, I'm not a trader anymore. I'm just a hodler, and you have no choice. You're literally locking yourself up to the market and you're waiting, right? So I'm just looking at everything from a much more protective position, and also recognizing that if we measure even the lows from the previous, and I'm just doing like approximates, right? We know that we're seeing diminishing returns from our market lows to our market highs, and Bitcoin has performed really well. I know not everything has, but from the bottom to even where it is right now, proportionally, that actually makes a whole lot of sense. 12,000%, 2,000%, 600. I think it'll go up higher, probably like around here for like 150K. But it makes sense to me to see it diminishing over time. So it's good though, because again, I want to hear what you have to say, and I didn't know about the data that you shared before. Maybe you should just post that, or actually, it looks like it's a screenshot from a video. So maybe you've just talked about that on more. I wonder
if I can post it in the comments.
Absolutely, you can.
Let me try. It was actually from Clear Value Tax's video. So
oh wow, okay.
I could post the link to that in the comments.
Yeah,
and then people could check that out. Sure. All right, I'll just do that because that'll make it easy.
Yep.
And so if you guys want to see the video that talks about rate cuts and what the S&P has been like 1 year out, then you could check out that video. I just dropped it in the comments.
Yeah. I just have to highlight this comment because I totally agree. It's hilarious. Where is it? Here we go. From Shining Pathways. Of all the routes that are used to reach Bitcoin, the one that goes through Tinder is the craziest. Agreed.
That is true. I owe her, something for sure.
Don't say that too long because I don't know how much she's tracking the prices of everything. So
I don't know. But honestly, the one that was underneath that about the being selective, probably going to be a more selective rotation. That's true. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, there may not be one.
Yeah. Like I don't think that like the mass. Honestly, it's tough to even like imagine for me, to be honest, something happening greater than what happened in late 2024. Because like in late 2024, like we had Trump coming into, become president, and we had a lot of things like coming together that really pushed it up and made a lot of sense. And I'm trying to think, like, what is the narrative that could do that? Because we had that in last year, right? And in 2020, 2021, obviously there was COVID and the lockdowns and everyone was getting into it. And Elon Musk, everyone was going crazy. Before that, in 2017, there was just few cryptocurrencies and it was a brand new technology and everyone was really pumped up about the tech. And so we had that in 2017. And now it's like, there's not really something crazy that's happening. And it's actually, a lot of people are against it still. They think it's a scam still. They have a bad taste in the mouth from FTX and from all of these other things, even from BitConnect. Funny story. I went to Vietnam and I was in this rural Vietnam mountainside, like no one's there, like literally huts and stuff. And I go there and I'm talking to this guy. He lives in Vietnam. And he's like, "Oh, you into crypto? I did crypto too." And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome." He's like, "Yeah, I put my money, I lost all my money in this thing called BitConnect." And I was like, no way.
Wow.
I'm in the middle of a rural mountainside Vietnam, and BitConnect was there. Unbelievable. But
literally, it's unbelievable. Yes.
Shows you how far and wide these things actually reach, you know?
Yes.
But but yeah, it is going to be tough somehow, late this year for things to, in my opinion, to go crazier than what they did in late 2024. But who knows? Maybe something does happen. Maybe something happens that we don't know of. A white swan event, which would be great. It would be amazing.
Yeah. So before we look at a couple of these charts, I see you guys asking for SAY, for Aptos, for XRP. Happy to pull those things up. But again, I want to direct your attention down below to all the links that we have for Femex, for Bidifi, for 2bit, and also over here on Coin Bureau deals. Again, I'm sure that the Bidifi team is going to not like that. But again, I'm also the guy that says F happily.
Are you sure that it's Bidifi, or is that like confirmed with the team, or is it BidFi?
Absolutely not.
Doesn't BidFi to me seems way more logical, because it's like bid, like, hey, I'm bidding on this, and fi,
I'm
like
butchering it
finance.
on purpose. It's okay.
Bidifi.
I'm sure I'll hear get an earful from Raheem. He's like, dude, you can't do Okay.
All right. I'll call it Bidifi too then, in solidarity.
All right. Let's go. Actually, do you want to share your screen? Do you have Trading View opened up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I always have Trading View opened.
Yes.
I never don't have Trading View opened up. Let me see if I could do this.
Let's look at a couple of these ones that people have been requesting. Let's look at Say. It's actually been a really good mover this past week. It hit my trade target, which is awesome. Let's look at that one.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Let me know when it comes up as.
There you go. I got you.
Okay, sweet. So this is my.
Can you zoom in a lot too, because the resolution is really low?
Oh yeah,
really
I could maybe if I do this, it'll be more like it'll be better. Let me double check.
There you go. Yeah.
So that seems pretty good. Okay. Yeah. So what was it? Say C?
Yes.
CI?
Say my name.
Right. Oh wow,
yes.
Doing not too bad. Almost at immediately first thing I see when I look at this is it looks like a bull flag is coming up, right? Like something like this. I guess that didn't work out. But I mean, obviously, yeah, perfect touch of the trend line,
Seriously.
Trip the third one. So that needs I wouldn't be it's like this, I think, is probably one that is okay, like holding. If you're doing a longer term, if you're trading it, like obviously this is it wouldn't be the worst place to take profits, considering where we are.
Yeah.
Even look at the RSI, like massively oversold. The stochastic RSI massively. Oh, sorry, overbought. Both of these in that zone. So. Yeah, I'd be a little worried right now. Oh, is this also? also right here at this like, you know, support, and then resistance. Like it's basically at the it's a scary area if you're a shorter term trader. But if you're a longer term trader, let's check it out. See what it looks like, the actual long term chart of this. All right. I wonder if you could connect any of these like on the weekly chart, right? It looks like there's still some room to go. I mean, ultimately, it depends on your conviction in the coin, right? Because if you do think that this is a coin to be, you know, holding for the long term, then it is pretty low compared to where it was like at the all-time highs. And this is a fairly new coin. It's not like this is an old cycle coin. You know, this came out in 2023, late 2023. So it's not like there's a million bag holders, you know, from 2017 and 2021. So as long as people are still,
is that to you, by the way? How important is the longevity of the coin when you're making like a personal analysis for an investment?
Crazy important. It's one of the main things I look at. Like, I don't want to be buying like dino coins, like coins that from previous cycle, because if you just look at the data, it's like the new coins are the ones that get the most traction. They have the most mind share. Because they're the new they're the new and shiny things. And there's a huge thesis behind this, which is that I'll show you one. It was what's the DeFi coin that's not Aave, but I think it was Compound.
Comp.
It might have been Comp, or
there was I have them in my list because I do check them. They're
we'll
OG
just you know, use this as an example,
or like Loopring or like LRC and stuff like that. That's super old too.
Typically what happens is like a coin comes out and it's like, let's say it like comes out, it's brand new, it's shiny, and all the devs are promising, you know, so much, and everyone's really on board with it. And it has the initial dump by the VCs or whatever, but then like it goes up and people are really excited. And then once it breaks to the all-time high, you know, right when it starts, then it's blue sky territory over here. And so it could just keep on going up for as long as it, you know, wants to, right? And as it keeps on going up and people are excited, but then after a while, it gets to the point where like sometimes there's no more hype around it, because the like either the coin is not fulfilling on the promises that it promised way like back when it started. So people get a little fed up with it. And then also a lot like the developers and the people who created the coin, they're all rich as hell. They're all like multimillionaires. so they don't have the incentive to continue working and pushing as hard as they did. And they're you know, they sell off. And then it's like the community becomes disgruntled because the price isn't doing what they want it to do. And it just turns into this whole like cluster mess, right? Until eventually, you know, things just die out, and it's probably never gonna reach this level again. Like, it's pretty difficult, I would think. And so on the other side, on the flip side of that, you you got coins that when they come out, you know, it's like people are excited about it, and they want and there's no like downside pressure, because there's no bag holders that had you know, that are just looking to sell, right? So it's like there's coins. This is obviously just like an example, but like when you look at something that comes out like this, it's like it comes out, there's no one that bought, you know, up here, because the coin was so small, the price was so little. So when the price moves up, you don't have these people that are looking to sell. And then as price keeps on going up, like people are continue to get excited. And it's like a flywheel basically. And that's why coins like meme coins did so well last cycle, is because, or this cycle, is because they didn't have like these basically the members of the community, not the members of the community, but the developers and the other people, like just basically promising all of this stuff that never comes true. Or the flip side of that, you could actually have these promises, but then when you actually fulfill them, you know, like smart contracts or something like that on like, for instance, for Cardano, it's like you fulfill them, but then it's like, okay, you fulfilled them, but now the hype's gone because what's next? Right? So it's a lose-lose situation with a lot of these things, with a lot of these coins. And so those are like older coins, right? Those are like the old coins. So now, so it's like if you have new coins, then they obviously have a lot more potential because they don't have the bag holders, and they still have that hype around the promises that were, you know, told to them. So that's why I have this as part of my strategy, essentially.
So which I mean, we're seeing a lot of people listing comments, and it's a mix. I'm seeing older cycle coins like Uniswap, Maker. Solana is now an old coin, which is insane if you think about it, because it was
there are a few basically outliers that you want to pay attention to, and those are multi-cycle runners, right? Those are coins that make new all-time highs cycle after cycle. So obviously Bitcoin, right? And then the other one is obviously Ethereum, and then the other one is obviously Solana, right? And then the other one is there's another one, Tron, which is crazy. I would never have thought of this. I would never have thought Tron would have been like the freaking runner. Like what a crazy thing, like multi-cycle coin. Same thing with BNB, you know, BNB. Like this is a coin that, you know, obviously it's a multi-cycle coin. So there are these coins that are outliers, but for the most part, you don't want to be like trading like these. I mean, you could trade the coins, you know, whatever coin you want. I'm a trader, so I trade everything, right? But like for the most part, if it hasn't made like a new all-time high, like this is still like I'm looking at, you mentioned Maker, right? You know, Maker is still down 72% from the all-time highs, right? Like a lot of these coins still are down massively, and it's just like there are like, you either want to be in Bitcoin or you want to be in coins that have a much better opportunity than Bitcoin, right? Like that's what you want, right? And so it's like, you know, I hear all the time like XRP, right? And it's like if you look at XRP against Bitcoin now, after it jumped up 5x, it's at the same price where it was against Bitcoin back 6 years ago. So it's like you could have just held Bitcoin and been up, you know, more, or been up the same amount now after it's pumped. But if you held from 7 years ago, you'd still be down against Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has such little risk compared to these other coins, right? So why not just be in Bitcoin? Although, like, obviously now we're so late into the cycle, Bitcoin's over $120,000 that you know, the upside potential for Bitcoin compared to a lot of these altcoins are not as much, right? But yeah, so it's about using your brain and comparing coins against Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the cycle. It's like if you're in the stock market, you want to compare it against the S&P 500 because that's the benchmark.
Naturally.
So that's what I do. And it's like if a coin has a high probability or a good potential of massively outperforming Bitcoin, those are the ones that I want to buy and hold. Everything else I trade. You know, I want to get in and I want to get out, and then use that money to buy more Bitcoin, essentially.
Yeah. You guys, we still got time. I still see tickers coming in. I'm gonna take my turn on this and share some charts with you guys. But before we do, again, I want to remind you, go on YouTube here, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also check out more Coin Bureau. They are at 206,000 subs. They still need more. They're growing, and it's amazing. We are super duper close to reaching 100,000 subs on this channel. We can do it with you guys. And again, lots of great links for Femex, BitFi, BYB-Fi, and then 2bit, and then lots of great deals over on Coin Bureau. What's funny is that people will actually remember BitFi more than the others because I'm butchering the name. Probably. It's all marketing,
Honestly,
right? All
honestly,
marketing.
it's smart.
I gotta have fun somehow. Like this is it's getting late, so I'm like toast. It's been a long week. Let's
Are you
get
in
to it.
Japan?
Yes.
What time is it there?
It's only 9:45, but when you start the day at 6, it starts to get a little bit. Yeah, each day at 6, it's a little bit much. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I see this one popping up. I saw this one also posted. I am literally beside myself
I remember
with
this
jealousy.
Wow.
Yeah, Ether. This one on Coinbase. This is the weekly chart. So this week alone, up 87%. What I want to tie together with what you shared about a lot of coins that are new. I 100% agree with you that new coins have so much more potential. I would also say that if you're someone that's been accumulating Ether, like around here, and now your position's up like 67%, I would say, I'm not going to tell you guys what to buy, what to sell. I see some people asking stuff like that. I can't do that. I'm not qualified to do that. Neither is Lewis. No offense to him either, but really it's up to you. But the thing I would suggest you to consider is if you are wildly up on a position, what would hurt that position, or what would hurt the potential profit of that position, even if you just sold like 10% or 20%? Even if it happens to go up, another 80% next week, and it goes up crazy to like 10 cents. Yes, you'd sell some and you'd miss out on that next leg. But you listened to Lewis share his story about Dogecoin. If you're someone that went into like Ether and like you bought in here at like 3 cents and now you're up big time, like I know for some of you, like 78% is, small fry. Do not look a gift horse in the mouth, people. If you're up big, just consider taking a little bit of profit. You have literally no guarantees that charts will go up and to the right forever. Do you remember this chart? Remember this good old one? Everyone is so excited about this chart. Poor Dan. I know he took a long on this. I know he got wiped out. When stuff like this happens, I just feel bad because people get suckered in thinking, oh, what a great dip buy. The first dip is the first real good dip buy, and you sell on the bounce. After that, staying away, not touching it, right?
I thought this went to zero.
Say what?
I thought Ohm went to zero. Mantra down. I thought that was like really bad. I thought that ended up going down to zero.
No,
yeah, dude. What
here,
chart?
if you're using linear, it looks a lot worse. But I always use logarithmic. So.
Oh, you're using why?
Why? Because it's awesome. Because it's better. Because crypto looks like this too much. And when I do my charting and I do my trend line analysis and stuff like that, it just looks really hideous. It doesn't work as well. And because crypto is so much more volatile than the stock market, where I feel like many stock charts work well with linear, for crypto, logarithmic works way better because like we just saw for Ether, like that chart is ridiculous. And if we were to look at this with linear, especially in, on the daily time frame to go to linear, it's just going to be garbage for trading. Sorry, garbage for charting, in my opinion. So that's why.
Interesting. Yeah. I haven't met too many people that do logarithmic.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll meet more people that are on the bright side of things. So like another chart like Zora. I had so many people asking for Zora when it was rallying, and rightfully so. And this is what I want to say. I want to draw a conclusion to help you guys understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So if you're in a position like on ATH Ether, but like with Zora, and you see it up here, up 300%, do you really want to live? Highs. Oh, actually, went up way higher than that. If you're up 300%, 600%, whatever, and you see a little bit of a pullback from 6 cents down here to 4 cents, you are literally going to be throwing up in your sleep. Not that I wish that on anybody, but just to say, like, you're going to be so racked with anxiety and worry and guilt and frustration and fear, you will not sleep well. Whereas if you just decide, oh, I'm going to take a little bit of profit out here, let some more ride, take out some more profit. Oh, it's sold off. I'll take a little bit more out. Oftentimes when I trade these big runners, I'm going to be selling into the strength. And even on these big pullbacks, I am never, ever afraid to take out more profit, especially if I'm up hundreds of percent. Because the reality is that charts like this that rip and go crazy eventually are going to continue to drag lower and lower. Not necessarily dump like Ohm, but Zora, unfortunately, is at the mercy of something similar, especially knowing how high it pumped. There's also like OKB, that the OKX token, again, I don't wish them any harm at all. I mean, it's incredible what they've done. The reason why it pumped, of course, is they burned the majority of their supply, which is insane. But I mean, that's an amazing marketing trick. But eventually the price is going to go, well, I mean, it is a little bit high, and then it's just going to start falling back down. I mean, it's a good strategy, but you have to understand, if you're in a position where you're up hundreds of percent, you haven't taken any profit out, just consider shaving off just a little bit, okay? Just the smallest bit. You will sleep so much better. You were going to say something. I don't want to keep jabbering too much, but what were we going to say?
What if it keeps on going up, man? What if it keeps on going up?
Right? If it keeps going up, so that's why I'm saying take a little bit out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a little bit out, because you don't know, right?
Yeah.
OKB could actually go up to $1,000. I mean, BNB is almost up to what? It's on its way. Yeah, 906. I never would have thought that. I still kick myself to this day, because I mean, I was trading BNB way back over here, like when it was down like, you know, $20 range. You too, probably, right?
At like $5 under, like, no, like the day it came out, I remember trading it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So like, I remember this rally and feeling really good about it. And it's like, cool, I sold some. Awesome. Great trade. Now look at it, right? So the point being, yes, taking profit is good. But if you have long-term conviction and you're feeling anxious, or your position is really causing you a lot of stress, just take a little bit out. Like, use some of those profits to enjoy life, because this is why you're trading. You're trying to improve your quality of life. For most people, they are. So just understand, like, when you get runners, whether it's going to be ATH or Zora or BNB or the next BNB or Hyperliquid or Pump, which has been pumping, like, consider, like, okay, if you're at a point where you're actually able to change the quality of life for yourself, even just by taking out a little bit, why not? Even if it's going to go up so much more, why not? You are literally not guaranteed tomorrow. I mean, that's my perspective, especially after this week. So let me look through here. There are actually some, I start some good questions. I think that these are really good and they don't require a chart. But before we get to it, guys, like the video if you haven't already. You know the deal. Yeah. Subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click on Bidiffy and the toy button and all the all the exchanges and the deals and stuff. Okay.
I have one thing. I have some alpha to give on like strategies and stuff, because this is what I do. It's like if a coin, you also should look at the market cap of a coin, right? Mm-hmm. Because I know we talk about like higher market cap coins, but if you get into something that is, let's say, under a $50 million market cap, right? It could have the potential to go up to 500 million. It could have the potential to go up to $1 billion. You have to do some actual analyzing of the data and comparisons of what other coins, you know, are in that range. And you need to come up with a good thesis for it. So there's two different ways to go about trading, right? There's the technical ways where you're looking at the technical analysis, and there's the fundamental ways. And so if you're doing the technical ways, you have a price target, you have a stop loss, you have an entry. These are set, these should be set, and you should know exactly why you have all of these there. So there shouldn't even really be of like a question of like, should I take profit? Should I not take profit? Because you should have all of this planned out before you even enter the trade. And then for obviously, like for a lot of people in crypto, they just ape into whatever they want, whatever they see that someone shills them, and then there it goes up 100% and they don't know what to do, or it goes down 50%, they don't know what to do. But on those type of situations, like what I've started to do, and what I do now is I look at coins, and if it's say it's not a pure technical play, I'll look at it and I'll come up with a thesis, and I'll come up with a thesis behind it, and it'll be a fundamental thesis. And literally I'll keep track, and it either plays out or it doesn't. It either plays out or it doesn't. And so I have a lot of different coins and a lot of different thesis behind a lot of different coins. One of the last ones that I did was like the Kanye coin, right? My thesis
really
was I did the Kanye coin. And I got into it at like a 2 million market cap, because I thought like, okay, this is going to be the coin that will be the official Kanye West coin, and it's going to come out. I know this is like, and it's funny because people might think like, oh, this is like degenerate. You shouldn't do this, but it's not degenerate if you use proper risk management. It's not degenerate if you know exactly how much you're going to lose. I risked the same exact amount on that coin than I do on my normal trades. So I know exactly what I'm willing to lose, and I put that exact amount in, and I'm doing it based off of logic and reasoning, based off of data that I see on crypto Twitter, on like other sources, right? And so it's like, okay, for that one, I put it in at 2 million, and I said this should go to $1 billion market cap if this is the actual coin. It should, because obviously with the way crypto is, right? And when I saw that Kanye posted that other coin, he posted a different address, my thesis was proven wrong, and I got out. Luckily, the coin pumped from like 2 million to like 18 million or something like that. And then it ended up dropping back down after he posted the other one. But my thesis was wrong. So I'm out. I'm out of the coin. I'm not going back in. I'm not going to just mess around with it. Okay. Yeah. There's another one. It's like Mammo, right? Mammo, really good looking coin, in my opinion. It looks great. It's down drastically right now. But I put in a certain amount of my portfolio, a few percentage, right? The same percentage that I normally risk on a normal technical trade. And if it goes down, I might actually want to put more in, because the fundamentals are the same. Nothing has changed. And I'm willing to risk that certain amount. And I believe that it should go to X, market cap. So I want to be selling somewhere around there. And once it gets to around there, that's when I will look. Or if the thesis doesn't pan out, then I'm out, and I'll look for another opportunity. But so many people, they just go into things without a thesis. And you know what? This was me. This was me in 2020. This was me in 2019. This was me in 2021 when I had 50 coins or 100 coins that I was in. And I looked back at it, and I'm like, why am I in this? What even is this coin? I don't even remember this, right? But no, ever since I started taking this very seriously and thinking like, what is the reason why I'm going in here? Like the actual reason. Let's treat it like you're a freaking hedge fund. Let's treat it like you're an asset manager for real. And you have to report to people. And you have to report to yourself. What is the thesis behind this? And does it make sense based off of all of these other factors? And you're so much more comfortable. You don't have the anxiety. And then I'm going to put in a certain amount that I'm okay losing, because I manage my risk and I understand that things could get hacked. The protocol could get hacked and go to zero. Like the founder could just sell everything and, go to the Maldives or whatever. Like anything could happen. So you have to put all of these different factors into play when you're going and when you're putting stuff in. And so many people, way too many people, they just don't know what they're doing, and they chuck way too much into random coins that they don't have a good thesis about. And then when the prices dip, they get scared and they have anxiety and they're losing all this money that they don't have and they shouldn't be risking in the first place. And it just causes panic attacks, right? And they end up losing because they'll FOMO out, or they'll FOMO in, or get in or get out at the worst possible prices. So planning things out and having a good reason behind everything that you could articulate, write it out. It'll make things so much better for your actual trading. Yeah,
fully agree with you, man. All right, we got two questions that I really want to bring up, and we can just discuss these real quick. But if you guys have other ones that just pop up and I see in the chat, I mean, I will bring them up. So we got this question here from Alts 2025. If the rotation, we talked about this a little bit, but if the rotation from large cap to small cap has already started, can Chainlink, or we can replace this with any coin, still go up to $30 or whatever number? Or will it lose momentum? Is the top already reached for Link? So let's replace, we can talk about Link, Chainlink itself. And I believe that Chainlink is unique because it has a very interesting use case as an oracle. And it does well in that it's well connected. Sergey, and I don't know how to say his last name, but he's really well connected in the United States with the right people. I think that they have a bright future ahead of them. But if we're already, the question is saying, if we've already started that rotation out of the large caps to the mid or the low caps, that would basically be skipping over lots of coins that have a valid thesis or like a working product, or they solve a problem. So in that question, they're asking, do you feel like the top has already been reached for a lot of these coins that have a valid working product, that they have like a good market cap, even though they might be a dino coin? Do you feel like the market's going to skip over those and just go down the list to pump all these low caps?
Well, that comes back, it's like, that comes back to what I was just saying about, do you have a good thesis behind it? Do you have a good reasoning why you think that Chainlink will pump? Because if you're saying like, how is Chainlink going to go up, or is Chainlink going to go down? Is Chainlink gonna go back up to 30? Is it going to go up to 50? Is it going to reach the new all-time highs of $55 again that it was in May in 2021? Like, is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? You have to put something together to create reasons for why you believe that it should. Because think about how much more comfortable you will be if, let's say, you're a bull. If you're a bull on Chainlink, then you could argue that Chainlink is going to be one of the remaining, outperformers, just like Solana was, just like BNB was, just like Tron was, just like all these other coins were, right? That could be put into that category. If you're a bull, if you have a thesis that Sergey and the team, they're continuing to work on the coin, they're continuing to work on the product, it's very well connected, it's already interconnected with so many different things. I believe it just got part of a government contract with like the US Customs or something like that. Like there's so many bull cases for Link, and you have to put that all together and think, well, if this is happening, do I feel comfortable? What do I feel comfortable? How much do I feel comfortable putting in here? How much? And what if it doesn't happen? What if something falls through the cracks and it ends up tanking? Where am I going to get out, or am I just going to hold it because I believe fundamentally that it's gonna be moving up, right? And if you could do that, then you don't have to ask the question, is it going to skip over? Is it going to skip over? Because in your mind and in your analysis that it's going to move up because of all of the reasons that you looked into it. You believe in Sergey. You believe in the team of Link. You believe that they're going to continue to build out, that it's going to be the oracle that actually helps connect so many different things together, and that as cryptocurrency continues to grow as an asset class, that more institutions will be using Link. And it makes sense, and it makes sense. And that way, you're not really even focusing so much on the price. You're focusing on, you obviously focus on the price in terms of where you think the good entries are, and perhaps you could use Fibonacci to get out at certain areas, and big resistances and stuff like that. But I think that if you could think in two different parallels, like the fundamentals, what I'm talking about, plus the technicals. And then that, and you could combine it, it could make you such a better investor and trader.
I absolutely agree with you. Yes. I think another good thing to think about as well is coming up, basically just touching back on what you already said, but planning the trade and trading the plan. Too many people just ape into stuff because they follow the talking heads, whether it's my talking head or his talking head or your talking head. But you really do have to make these decisions for yourself. How much are you going to scale in? Where are you going to scale out? Why are you going to scale out? Why are you going to hold some? Are you going to hold some for the long term? People don't really think about the outcome. It's almost easier to press the buy button in a way, because for people that aren't planning ahead, it's like, well, the number's just going to go up. But for you and me, who've been doing this a long time, we know, no, when I click buy, usually it goes against me. The number does not immediately go up and to the right. So going into your trade with that thesis in mind, long-term thesis, okay, I'm going to inch into this trade a little bit. I'm going to buy a little bit more if it dips at this level because I have conviction for a long-term trade. Or if it's a short-term trade, I'm out. I'm done. That's it. Stopped out. Okay, moving on. I think everyone has to make those decisions. There's another really good question, and I'm happy to answer this. Robbie Wright asks, when and at what price exactly will Ethereum top? And then when will alts follow suit? So this is, again, the concept of rotations. And I also see other people asking really good leaving comments about how people think that there's not going to be a rotation, that this is going to be like a rugged cycle where it's just going to not meet everyone's expectations, which I wouldn't be surprised about, to be honest. But I personally think that Ethereum is not going to top out at this exact price. It will most likely top out at a higher price than the previous all-time high. Actually, that was made a couple weeks ago. But will alts follow suit? This is best answered with dominance. I made a video about this on the Coin Bureau Trading channel today, talking about how dominance is shifting. We talked about this at the beginning too. But it's important to watch stablecoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance, Ethereum dominance. I personally believe that we're now starting to make a bigger shift into Solana dominance, which starts to open up the floodgates for lots of these mid to low caps to really get way more volume. Bitcoin is becoming more boring. People are happy and satisfied with their profits. Bitcoin dominance is falling down. So we could say, oh, it seems like people are using their Bitcoin to buy other things. And we saw that. We saw a big transition away from Bitcoin to Ethereum. We saw news about big traders taking a lot of Bitcoin to buy Ethereum while Ethereum was rallying, right? So will we see that move towards other alts? Yes, I think we're already seeing it right now. But we're going to see it. It's not going to be just like, okay, first this, everyone else, you wait. While Ethereum's going, no, you can't cut in line. Like, it's not like a kindergarten classroom. Actually, it is like a kindergarten classroom. No, please don't go. And everyone runs over you, right? And you're covered with boogers and poop at the same time. So you have to understand, like, we will see this eventual ebb and flow of the market dominance shifting to Ethereum, to Solana, all that stuff. And it might go back a little bit, but pay attention to the trend. And the trend for Bitcoin dominance is down. I know Ben Cowan will disagree with me, and that's okay. But I personally believe that, yes, we will see a rotation into alts, which is already starting to happen in slow motion. So then it begs the question, like we're talking about, do you favor the coins with the tech? Do you favor new coins? Do you favor dino coins that already saw a market top? You have to make these decisions beforehand. I'm personally with Lewis, where I'm much more interested in newer coins that have not experienced a bull market. So that'd be like Sui, Say, Hype, Pump. Those are way new. But even thinking of like Aptos, which is super oversold, that's a riskier trade because it's not bouncing, and it should be, but it's not. So again, you have to decide how much of your portfolio do you want to put in these riskier positions. Do you want to just allocate everything to new listings? Probably not. You probably want to go with something that's steady and that will do well. Maybe it might not earn as much, but like, again, you have to plan this stuff out. It's dizzying. It's super dizzying. And I'm pretty sure that Lewis can answer this question in like this, but I'm fairly confident that Lewis even has predetermined percentages for whatever he's going to be doing for trading. Am I right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, if you just blindly top blast everything, you might do well in a bull market, but you will not do well all the time.
Yeah,
Take the time
yeah.
Divide it up. Go ahead.
You're not, and also honestly, even with the way that crypto is now, top lasting even during bull markets is risky because things have been so selective in what actually has been pumping, like, because there's so many things that don't now at this point. Like maybe it's like it's been so selective because like this cycle has had most people very angry. Most people are down. I ran a poll on my X and it said, are you up or are you down? You know, and it was like 50-50. It was like 50-50 of like people in profit or not in profit. And that makes sense from the fact that most people this cycle, like they didn't have Bitcoin, they were going into alts, but they're going into the wrong alts at the wrong time. And it was just, that's the way that most people are. But it's gotten much more complicated. It's gotten much more sophisticated. Like you have to know what you're doing now, and you have to know what coins to get into and what coins to stay away from, because there are so many now that just basically aren't doing much because it's spread thin because of all of the coins, the millions of coins that are out in the market now. When before there was so little. I know that we've all, talked. A lot of people have already mentioned it a million times, right? How Pump Fun and everything just put so many coins into the market that now it's diluted. So we don't have. Oh, you're good. We don't have the same small amount where all the money was flowing into, right? So now you have to be selective, and you have to understand, what the narrative will be and what will be good based off of a lot of different things that make it a lot more difficult, to be honest, to be in crypto. Or you could be a trader, or you could be a trader and learn to trade, but you also have to actually learn to trade and not just put the money in and be like, oh, I'm going to dig it out when it goes up. Yeah, because otherwise you'll
your digital money ATM.
As well.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been an amazing conversation. Again, you guys go to the More Coin Bureau channel. I want you guys to subscribe over there if you have not already. You're gonna see it my skirt first. Oh, there we go. That's just an expression. Like, guys, chill out. All right, here we go. So go subscribe to More Coin Bureau if you have not already. There's some incredible videos that are being shared there by Lewis, by Guy, and by Nick. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet to Coin Bureau Trading, do so. Like this video. Again, lots of links in here. Check out Femex. Check out Bidfee, maybe. Byte, 2bit. I'll figure out how to say it eventually. And lots of other deals that are over here at Coin Bureau. Again, Lewis, thank you so much for your time, man. Give us your closing price prediction for Bitcoin by the top of the cycle. What do you think it's going to be?
I know it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be over 140,000. I'm thinking like $154,632.52. No.
Ooh, love it. Okay, I think we're going to be placing bets. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again so much. Hope you have a great afternoon. Everybody that's watching, great evening. Great. I feel like the Truman Show. You know what to do. Have an awesome time. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.
Yeah. All right, man. Peace out.